Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Bashir James Dowo, and I am privileged to be working with Coordinate South Sudan in the capacity of Just Future Coordinator, leading the Just Future program here in South Sudan. I want to start from the broad Just Future itself. So Just Future is a program that's implemented in 6 countries. The countries include Democratic Republic of Congo, we have Niger, we have Mali, we have Burundi, we have South Sudan, and we have Afghanistan. But when you listen to the names of these countries, you realize that there's one characteristic that can easily defined with them, and that's fragility. So basically what I want to say is this is the program that's implemented in fragile states, and basically it's funded by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Netherlands. Talking about South Sudan, coming from South Sudan as one of the countries where the project is implemented, the Just Future started in South Sudan from 2021. It's a 5-year project in South Sudan, and it's implemented through an alliance of international organizations together with our national CSOs in South Sudan. And basically, when we are looking at international organizations, we have Search for Common Ground, Codage, and Women International Peace Center. With these international organizations, we have our local partners, like the civil society organizations. I will be able to mention a few names of them. Sometimes we have a number of them, like 8 to 9 civil society organizations. We work with them in this program. So I hope I can be able to remember all the names. But we have South Sudan Law Society, we have EVE Organization, we have CAD, we have YWCA, we have Vision for Generation, we have WOPA, and many others that I'm not supporting to mention. But you will also realize that actually these civil society organizations were not just about for the sake, but we look at the different capacities to expertise that these civil society organizations can be able to bring on board in the alliance to ensure that we are able to reach our intended goal. So basically, the program has the main objective for it to see that the world has a future which is just, but also through peaceful and inclusive societies. And this will say in a manner that people in these societies or in these countries where the Just Future program is implemented are able to benefit from a more accessible, responsible, and accountable security and justice institutions, and more inclusive arrangements for political governance as well as peacemaking processes in these countries. So basically that's briefly what I can mention about the Just Future program in South Sudan. But I think more into that is that basically we have two approach in this Just Future programs that we will focus on. And one is that we will focus on capacity building, but also lobby and advocacy, influencing the processes and actors in aspect to ensure that the intended goals is achieved. I just want to take you quickly to the main areas where the Just Future focuses on in their work. So basically, we work in South Sudan. We work in 3 interconnected areas, and one is the people-centered security. We have access to justice, and we have inclusive political decision-making and peace processes. When you look at these 3 outcome areas, you realize that different expertise and capacities are required to fulfill the mandates in these 3 outcome areas. So when we look at people-centered security, we look at a civil society organization that has a background, that has expertise, but also has capacity around security arrangements, security sector reforms, and many other things related to people-centered security. And that's why we work quite a lot with the South Sudan Law Society and other civil society organizations when it comes to the outcome area of people-centered security. We also look at an outcome area of access to justice, where people are able to access justice. And here also we need expertise of civil society organizations, which are more of with background of legal practice, background of legal practice, but also people who have a lot of capacities and knowledge and understanding of different human rights and different aspects of protection of civilians when it comes to access to justice. So we look at specific civil society organizations that can be able to bring on board those expertise, experiences, but also knowledge and understanding around the areas of access to justice. When we look at inclusive political decision making and peace process, we also look around civil society organizations which are proactive when it comes to issues of representation, but also participation of different excluded communities like the women, youths, the IDPs, refugees, the people with disabilities, and other, excluded people that I'm not able to mention, and they are able to work with these people to amplify their voices and to be able to represent it, but also participate in the political governance, but also peacemaking processes in the country. Opportunities around that I can mention a few of them. One is that actually the peace agreement, the 2018 peace agreement that was signed, is an opportunity for us because there are a lot of chapters in the peace agreement that clearly tells us on the role of civil society organizations in the country. So we have to take advantage of that. Of the peace agreement, but also we have seen that actually there is a fatigue amongst the wider citizenry in terms of the conflicts and so on. People need peace, and in that there's a lot of urge for peace building and reconciliation. So that's a huge opportunity for us that we can still continue playing a crucial role in promoting dialogue, but also fostering reconciliation in different communities. But also we realize that there's also a greater demand for human rights respect, but also protection of civilians. And with our outcome area on people-centered security, that's a very key area that we need to take advantage of, and it's an opportunity for us to do a lot of security sector reform, but also advocate for security arrangements to be implemented so that people can feel safer in their communities, but live in harmony and tranquility with each other. Another opportunity for us is that the humanitarian situation in the country, it is very dire, and it's not the right time to leave South Sudan alone, to isolate South Sudan alone from the rest of the world. There is a greater role that we, the civil society organizations, but specifically this project needs to continue playing in this country to elevate the suffering of the people, to amplify the voices of the people, but also to understand and know the situation, the dire situation the people of South Sudan is going through, and also to complement that, South Sudan is currently hosting a lot of refugees from Sudan, but also from other countries like Eritrea and Ethiopia. So that is also a huge burden in the country. That's why it's very necessary and mandatory that actually we continue playing that vital role in the country. But also we talked of limited capacity of civil society organizations, but also constituencies that we work with. I think that's an opportunity for us that we should continue empowering the communities, continue building the capacity of the civil society organizations, continue building the capacity of the constituencies that we work with, so that they're able to to stand alone and amplify their voices, demanding for their rights from their governments. And also, I think there's an opportunity for us in terms of collaboration with the different civil society organizations who are working under the same theme that we are working in, but also with our regional bodies. For example, the East Africa Community, we have the IGAD, but we have the AU, but also we have the UN, we have UNIMIS. So we have to, it's an opportunity that we have these bodies with us in the country, so we need to take advantage of those bodies and collaborate with them to enhance and also amplify the voices that we want to amplify. Based on personal opinion is that when I hear vulnerability and ownership, I look at sustainability, I look at capacity building, but also I look at self-reliance from the different communities. So what does that all encompass? Which means in every project or program that we undertake, the communities will be at the forefront of those programs. They should walk side by side with us, because at the end of the day, when this program ends, it's the communities that really continue with the mantle of ensuring their communities live in a space that they desired, and which means that actually communities will be put in front of decision making. They should lead in making, in identifying their needs, but also identifying the solutions that they require for those needs that they have identified, and they make the decisions themselves. So basically, that's my personal understanding of localization, and that we need to achieve that. I think we need partnership, both between the international and the local actors or the local communities, but also we need to build and strengthen the capacity of the civil society organizations from the local communities of these partners that we work with. But also we need to avail resources for this local community, civil societies, or the people we work with in partnership, so that they are able to take over whenever we are not available. That's a very difficult question. But I think, first of all, I want to thank the government of Netherlands, for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for availing this type of funding for us, and also for fragile states like South Sudan, because this is a very unique opportunity, and it's very unique in a manner that we're able to have a funding for a period of 5 years, that we are able to build capacities, but also utilize those resources to ensure the governance, but also the voices of the people are heard, but also included in the affairs of their countries. Looking ahead, if at all there is an opportunity of extension or of having a new similar program, I would say I would want to have the program to be in a deeper grassroots, in the deep grassroots level, in the hard to reach areas, because that's where really the voices of the people needs to be heard. But also to have more civil society organizations, or the CPOs, community-based organizations on board, because that's where really the sustainability happens, and to involve more of the constituencies in regional advocacies and opportunities, because through that people are able to relate more with those. I think that's what I would have done differently, given an opportunity of another similar project. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for that question. I think, being as the lead for the alliance, I would say as the coordinator for the alliance, I don't only manage the staffs in CODE, but also I manage the partnership that we have with the different organizations, both the international and the civil society organizations to work with. I think it's a difficult one. It's a unique position because there's no fit-it-all leadership style when it comes to this such kind of complex management. But basically, for me, I personally don't have a one-fit-it-all leadership style. I have a mixture of leadership styles that pops up depending on the situation and the condition that I face in that particular moment. So it ranges from being authoritative or autocratic. I become democratic as well, participatory, where I involve all the team members in putting their inputs, giving their inputs, which collaborating with the team members and so on. And of course, that's when there's a lot of liberty. There's no urgency on that specific item that we are dealing with. But also sometimes I have also the transformational leadership style in me. I sometimes inspire and motivate. That's very crucial because it fosters strong team culture, but also it's good for the team spirit. It creates innovation because the team feels secure in that specific environment. But finally, I have the transactional leadership style when really there's need for performance and accountability to be done, and that I emphasize quite a lot. It becomes more transactional because I have to give you a deadline. However, every leadership style has its disadvantage and its advantage. So it's about the mixture of those leadership styles and based on that specific circumstance. I think in terms of expectation, I think I have one of the best teams. It has actually relieved me a lot of roles and tasks, so that's very good because once you delegate something that's done the way you want it to be done, as a team leader, it motivates you even more. But of course, the expectation is that let's continue doing what we do. Don't feel discouraged by circumstances. You never know who's watching you. So do the best that you always bring to the table. Do it like you're doing it for the last. And of course, definitely the payments, the dividends will be there in the future. But I believe there are opportunities for us, for each and every one of us, with all our skills, the expertise that we have. Definitely, I trust that opportunities are abundant for us, even way beyond we expect. Thank you.